Today's topic is profits in lieu of salary. So if the employer pays any amount instead of salary, it is known as profit in lieu of salary. So here profits in lieu of salary includes any compensation due or received in connection with the termination of the service or modification of the service conditions. So these profits are received when there is a upgradation in services or modification in services or at the time of termination of services. Any amount received from the present or former employer in the appreciation for services. So here the appreciation for employee is also called as profit in lieu of salary because it is not included salary. It is the extra amount than the salary which the employee will receive. Refund from unorganized provident fund. If the employee is paid anything for his provident fund in past, if he is receiving in previous year, it is also called profit in lieu of salary. The following are not to be included under the head of profit in lieu of salary. The excess amount over the exempted limit is taxable as salary income. So here also the excess income is charged under income tax. Death come retirement gratitude. So gratitude means a gracious period made by the employee to his employer to his employee services rendered. Gratitude is paid on the eve of retirement, becoming incapacitable prior to retirement, on termination of employment, death or resignation. In these situations, the employer will pay gratuity which the employee rendered his services. For the state government employees, 12 lakhs is exempted. For central government employees, 20 lakhs is exempted. For private employees, gratuity calculated according to Act. So according to Act, private employees gratuity is calculated. Next, commutation of pension. Actually, the pension is paid in periodical period for every month for the employees who retired from his services. But if the pension is paid in a lump sum amount, that is called commutation of pension. So this commutation of pension is given to the employee at the end of his services or at the retirement time. Commutation pension is fully exempted for government employees. Government employees include state and central government. For non-government employees, there are two conditions. According to that, the gratuity is exempted. If they are receiving gratuity, 1/3 of computed value of total pension is tax free. So from total amount which they received, 1/3 is exempted and the 1/4 is calculated tax on 1/4. If they are not receiving gratuity, 1/2%, that means 0.5% commuted value of total pension is tax free. That means 50% tax free, and on 50% the employees has to pay tax. Next is treatment of leaves in salary. So employees are entitled to various types of leaves: casual leaves, earned leaves, privileged leaves, and medical leaves. Generally, leaves are two types. That the leaves may be availed, otherwise lapsed. Example, casual leaves. That means employee has to avail the leaves. Otherwise, Otherwise, those the remaining leaves are lapsed at the end of the period. Next, the leaves gets accumulated year after year. Example, earned leaves, privileged leaves. Encashment of leaves for government employees are fully exempted, but non-government employees it is taxed at least of the following: cash equivalent to balance of the leave period, unveiled leave in the time of retirement, subject to ceiling on the basis of maximum 30 days leaves every year of services. So 10 months of average salary, actual amount received, and 3 lakhs. So least of the three is exempted. So refund from statutory provident fund and recognized provident fund. So annual actual amount received is fully exempted in this case. Now next topic is deduction from salary income. Here standard deduction is provided according to section 16 1A. This deduction is compulsory one for the person having income from salary. It is also known as statutory deduction. This deduction is at least of the two following: gross income from salary or 40,000. So here the list is deducted because 40,000 is deducted. This is the statutory deduction. And next is entertainment allowance, section 16 subsection 2. This allowance is allowed only for government employees. For the other employees, the deduction is least of the three: 20% of salary, next actual amount of allowance received and receivable, and rupees 5,000. Salary means basic pay only. Profession tax or employment tax, section 16 subsection 3. Profession tax, actual amount paid will be allowed as deduction. If the tax is due but payment is not yet made, then it shall not be allowed as deduction. These are the deductions which are deducted from the income from salary. Proforma of computation of income from salary. Here there are particulars and amount columns are there. Salary includes basic pay, bonus, fees, commission, employer contribution to RPF in excess of 12% of salary, and excess of interest on RPF over the exempted rate 9.5%, contribution made by employer to employee under new pension scheme. Basic pay means the minimum pay for a cadre, and bonus means if the employer giving bonus to employees, that bonus. Fees, if employee getting any fees from employer for his services, and commission, it is also a part of cadre. Then if a employee getting commission, so it is also included in salary. And contribution, which is paid by employer, 12% of salary for employee. And if he is getting the interest on RPF, it is also be added in salary, that is 9.5%. And contribution made by employer to employee under new pension scheme. If the employee comes under pension scheme, and every month the employer will contribute to the pension, so it is also included in salary. And next is allowances. So first and foremost is dearness allowance, and it is common and it is taxable. Next is dearness pay, it is also taxable. And CCA, city compensatory allowance, That means other than four metro cities. Four metro cities are Kolkata, Chennai, Bombay, and Delhi. The other city and towns employees are given city compensatory allowance. That is also unexempted allowance and house rental allowance. Exempted, there will be a limited exempted, unexempted amount is taxable, and entertainment allowance is also unexempted amount is taxed. And perquisites rent free accommodation is taxable, and insurance paid by the employer is also taxable, and provision for domestic servant, so it is personal purpose, so it is taxable. And profits in lieu of salary, so these profits in lieu of salary, as we discussed, the employee will get at the retirement day. So compensation received on termination, that amount is added to salary. And transferred balance URPF to RPF, so altogether becomes gross to income from salary. From this we have to make deductions as standard deduction under section 16(1)(a), and entertainment allowance under 16(2) subsection 2, and professional tax under section 16 subsection 3. So after deduction it is called as income from salary. This is the pro forma of calculating income from salary for employees. Now let's see one example. So here are the particulars of Bhanu Prasad. So from that we have to calculate the income from salary and taxable income. So here tax liability. So here basic pay is 13,500 and per month, and bonus is 30,000. Dearness allowance is 2,500 per month, and CCA city compensatory allowance is 3,000 per month. Entertainment allowance is 1,600 per month, and house rental allowance is 3,500 per month. So actual rent is paid in Guntur 2,400 per month. So the employer provided the following. One is credit card of Andhra Bank for personal use, and the employer paid membership of 500. Payment of bill is 9,500. So the employer paid the following bills for personal use: cell phone 17,000, electricity 10,500, water is 1,600, and club bill is 7,400. The employer, on the occasion of Sri Bhanu Prasad's birthday, presents wristwatch worth 2,500 and cash prize is 4,500 for achieving the sales target. And a small car for his office and personal use is provided, and all the expenses are paid by the employer. The following are the deductions from salary. Professional tax is 4,140, income tax is 2,500. So now let's see the working notes first. First let's see the computation of Bhanu Prasad income from salary for the assessment year 2019 and 2020. Here salary includes basic pay and bonus. Basic pay is 13,500 per month, that is becomes 1,62,000, and bonus is 30,000. So allowances are dearness allowances is getting 2,500 per month. By multiplying 12, that becomes 30,000 per year. And house rental allowance is after exemption 29,400, and CCA city compensatory allowance is 3,000 per month, that is 36,000, and entertainment allowance is 1,600 per month, and that is 19,200. So perquisites, credit card is personal use, so it is taxable. Gifts, the wristwatch is exempted, and the cash is taxable. Electricity and water bill is 12,100 together, and a club bill 7,400, and motor car 2,000, 21,600. So there is no any profits in lieu of salary. So the gross salary is 3,62,200, and standard deduction deductions we have to make. Standard deduction is 40,000. Entertainment allowance is fully exempted because there is no any unexempted amount. So professional tax is 4,140. So after deducting 44,140, the income from salary is 3,18,060. So now let's see how the allowances are calculated first. So house rental allowance. Salary is 1,62,000, and 10% of salary is 16,200, and rent paid is 2,400 into 12 months, that is 28,800. The assessee is paying rent of the house, so exemption can be given. He is living in Guntur, so other exemption at least of the following 3. So actual allowance received is 3,500 into 12 months, that is 42,000, and rent paid minus 10% of salary. Rent paid is 28,800 minus 10% of salary is 16,200. So the remaining amount is 12,600, and 40% of salary is 64,800. So least of the 3 actual rent received is 42,000. So here giving list of the following, that means exemption is allowed, that is 12,600. So unexempted amount is 29,400. It is taxable. So entertainment allowances, the assessee is non-government employee, so employee deduction not allowed. So credit card, if the employee provides a credit card to an employee or his family members, then it becomes taxable perquisite to all employees. Perquisite value actual amount paid by the employee is 10,000. Employer is 10,000. Payment of cell phone bill, the employer pays cell phone bill, then it is and tax free perquisites. So payment of electricity and water bill, the employer pays electricity and water bill of the residents, then it is taxable perquisite to all employee. The value of perquisite actual amount received by the employee by employer, that is electricity bill is 10,500, water bill is 1,600. So total together 12,100 is taxable. Club bill, if the employer pays the club bill, then it becomes taxable perquisite. The perquisite value is 7,400, which is added in the gross salary. Gift from employer, so wristwatch is exempted, but in cash, that is 500, that is taxable. And motor car, the salary income after deduction is more than 50,000, hence the motor car becomes taxable perquisite. So the employer owns the car and it is used both for official and personal purpose. So car provided is small one and all the expenses are paid by the employer. So perquisite value is 1,800 per month, that is 21,600 is the perquisite value, and that is also taxable. Standard deduction, the deduction is the list of the following 2 amounts. So gross income from salary is 3,62,200 and second is 40,000. 40,000 is given as example exemption. Profession tax, actual amount is paid allowed as deduction 4,100. So calculating tax liability. So income tax is 3,18,060 and 5% minus 12,500, that is 3,403. Income tax is 3,403 rupees, and adding the health and educational is 136 rupees. Total becomes the tax liability is 3539, and TDS, he paid TDS, that is 2500. So tax payable is 1040. Now let's see an example for rent-free accommodation perquisite valuation for tax purpose. Here is the one example. Sri Mohan Reddy monthly emoluments are basic pay 7500, DA is 3000, CCA is 1000, entertainment allowance is 2000. He is provided with rent-free accommodation, and the original cost of the furniture is provided 1 lakh, and the book value of the furniture is 90,000. In the summer, 2 hired air coolers were provided for 3 months, which were hired for an amount of 150 per cooler per month, and municipal rental value of is 20,000 per month. Government rental value is 1500 per month. Actual rental value is 3,000 per month, and fair rental value is 2,500 per month. Compute the value of rent-free accommodation in the following situations. If he is working in a government department and the accommodation is provided in a city where the population is 15 lakhs, and if he is a non-government employee and the accommodation is provided in a city where the population is less than 10 lakhs. Now let's see the first situation. If he is working in a government department and the accommodation is provided in a city where the population is 15 lakhs. So here let's see, rent-free accommodation is a perquisite taxable to all employees. The SSC is government employees, also the rent fixed by the government is the value of the perquisite. So while valuating the perquisite, municipal rental value and fair rental value are not to be taken into account. For government employees, the place where the accommodation is provided will not make any difference. Population of the city is not considered. Now let's see the valuation of perquisite. So value of unfurnished accommodation is government value is taken 1500 is into 12 months, that is 18,000, and we have to add the furniture value. So furniture value 10% of original cost of the furniture. So 1 lakh rupees furniture is provided to employee. So from that we have to take the 10% cost. So 10,000, and higher charges of furniture, air coolers in the summer. So 2 they given 2. So 2 in 250 into 3 months. So it is 9,000. So the total value of furnished accommodation is 28,900. So this is the taxable perquisite for the employee. Now let's see the second situation. If he is a non-government employee and the accommodation is provided in the city where the population is less than 10 lakh. So rent-free accommodation is again a perquisite which is taxable. The assessee is non-government employee irrespective of population in the city. The valuation of is same for the hired accommodation. So monthly rent paid is 3,000. So here let's see the step 1. We have to calculate the salary first. Salary equals to basic pay plus bonus plus fees plus commission plus DP plus all taxable allowances. Dearness allowance will be included only when it enters the retirement benefits. Now plus any monetary payment made by the employer other than the perquisite leave enhancement gratuity received in the services, and income tax and profession tax paid or reimbursed by the employee. Now here the basic pay of the person is 7,500 into 12 months, that is 90,000, and is getting CCA 1,000 into 12, that is 12,000, and entertainment allowance 12,000 per month, and if we multiply with that multiply that is 24,000. So the total salary is 1,26,000. Now step 2, calculating the unfurnished accommodation value. So the accommodation is hired by the employer, so the perquisite value is list of the following two amounts. If the actual rent paid by the employer, that is 3,000 for 12 months, that is 36,000, and 15% of salary, that is 18,900. Now, so let's see step 3, calculating the value of the furnished accommodation. So we have to take the list of the amount. So that is list is 18,900. From above step, we have to add the furniture value, 10% of original cost of the furniture, 1 lakh into 10%, that is 10,000, and higher charges for air coolers, 2 coolers, which 150 per each for 3 months, that is 900. So the total is 29,800. The value of perquisite's rent-free furnished accommodation is 29,800. While valuing the value of the furniture, book value is to be ignored. Now let's see another example. Mr. T.S. Rao is working as manager of a limited company in Hyderabad city. His salary particulars for the previous relevant year to current assessment year are: salary is 9,000 per month, bonus 10% of basic, commission 30,000 per annum, DA is 4,000 per month, enters for retirement benefit conveyance 10,000 per month, 75% is spent for discharging official duties, miscellaneous allowances 2,000 per month, and he has been provided with a rent-free accommodation. The cost of the furniture provided for the first 9 months is 75,000, and furniture costing 50,000 is provided in the last 3 months. Compute the value of the rent-free accommodation for the current assessment year. If the company owns the accommodation and the company took T.S. Rao own building on a monthly rent of 8,000, and the same is provided to him as a rent-free accommodation. Now let's see the solution. Rent-free accommodation is the perquisite that is taxable. So here the SSC is non-government employee. The accommodation is provided in Hyderabad city. Population of Hyderabad is more than 5 lakhs as per 2001 census. In situation 1, if the company owns the accommodation, first we have to calculate the salary. The salary is basic is 9,000 into 12 months, that is 1,08,000. Bonus is 10% of 1,08,000, that is 10,800. Commission is 30,000. DA is 4,000 per month, which is multiplied with 12, that is 48,000. And conveyance allowance, actual amount received is 1,000, so we have to multiply with 12,000, and less amount spent for official purpose, 75% of amount is spent on official purpose, so 9,000 we have to less after deducting the unspent amount is 3,000, and miscellaneous allowances are 2,000 per month, so 24,000 per annum. So the total salary is 2,23,800. DA is entering for retirement benefit, so it is not included, and spent of conveyance allowance is taxable. Now, calculating the unfurnished accommodation value. The employer owns the accommodation and it is provided in Hyderabad city. So the perquisite value is 15% of the salary. So that is 15% of the salary is 33,570. Now we have to calculate the furnished accommodation. So we have to take the unfurnished accommodation value, that is 33,570. We have to add the furniture value, that is 10% of the cost. So 75,000 10% for 9 months, and on 50,000 10% for 3 months. So the total is 6,875. So the value of the furnished accommodation is 40,445. So which is taxable.